First priest. Present thy registry.
Aram, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yasharala.
Aram, Ban Yahawah, Ban Yasharala.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Barak Thumb.
Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Barak Thumb.
La Yasharala.
Margin was made to stand.
We're going to send our prayers.
Margin means to stand. Upon our Kadam, we shall face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayah. Quadas. Hayah. Shemka. Yahawah. Malawaka. Taba'ah. Ratazayah. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayah. Nathalanaw. Nakam. Ka. Yawam. Wasalakanaw. Kawaganaw. Kasalakanaw. Kabawayanaw. Wala'ai. Tabayaya now. Bonasai one. A ball. Hawashaya now. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. Wawalumya. Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Yahweh. Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Baba Kashah, Lathalanaw, Hakak, Le'apa'ah, Kal Makallah, Wakal Madawa, Hakak, Latahar, Hamatazarayim, Hakak, Lehakim, Hamathia, Hakak, Awakawa, Atama'ala, the Garashan, Ba'ashem Yahushua, the Wada Aman in the English. Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it. It's a plan of the best teacher of the Hebrew. When you hear the name of gun, say the name of love, Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahushua. Baraklanaw. Wayasharala. Wahabaya. Saparia. Barak. Rapah. Magun. Hagun. Officer Yaradan. Priest Adama. Ronika McCain. The entire Anderson family. The entire Luckett family. The entire Thornton family. The entire McAllister family. Done.
The Murphy family.
The
Fitz family.
The
Boyd family. Done.
Officer Yaradan. Priest Adama. The
entire Billups family.
The
Radcliffe family.
Freddie Brinkley.
All Israel.
Done. Ba'ashem Yahushua.
The Wada Aman.
In English. Yahweh.
Yahweh.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
In the name of Yahweh Shai.
Bless us.
Bless us.
And Israel.
And Israel.
And the school.
And the school.
Bless.
Bless.
Heal.
Heal.
Shield.
Shield.
Protect.
Protect.
In the name of Yahweh
In the
Shai.
name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be
Thank
it.
you, so be it.
Psalms 21 in the Hebrew. Asha'ah.
Asha'ah.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahari.
Al-Harya.
Like in Mayan.
Mayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Izari.
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 Ma'ayin.
Ma'ayin.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayam.
Waratazah.
Waratazah.
Ayathan.
Ayathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hanala'ah.
Hanala'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yasharala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazal.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Yamyaka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashemat.
Hashemat.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaika.
Yakaika.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Belayallah.
Belayallah.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Bakal Rai.
Bakal Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'at.
Taza'at.
Wabawa'at.
Wabawa'at.
Ma'ita.
Ma'ita.
Ma'ai.
Wa'ai.
I will
I will
love.
love. In the English. I will lift up mine eyes into the
I
hills.
will lift up my eyes to the
From
hill.
whence cometh my help?
From which cometh my
My
help?
help cometh from
My
Yahweh,
help cometh from Yahweh,
which made heaven and earth.
which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be
He
moved.
will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee
He that keepeth thee
will not slumber.
will not slumber.
Behold,
Behold,
he that keepeth
he
Yasharal
that keepeth
shall
Yahshua
neither slumber nor sleep.
shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Slakia. Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right
The
hand.
sun shall not smite thee by
The
day,
sun shall not smite thee by day,
nor the moon by
nor
night.
the moon by night.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil.
Yahweh shall preserve thee from all
He
evil.
shall preserve thy
He
soul.
shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out
and thy coming in
and thy coming in.
from this time
From
forth
this time forth
and even
and
forevermore.
even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Alahayam.
Allah Hayam,
Al-Damayah.
Al-Damayah,
Lekah.
Lakah,
Al-Takarat.
Al-Takarat,
Al-Tashakwat.
Al-Tashakwat, Al,
Kayahana.
Kayahana,
Awadika.
Awadika,
Yahama.
Yahama,
Yawan.
Yawan,
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash,
Al-Amaka.
Al-Amaka,
Ya'arayamba.
Yarayamba,
Sawada.
Sawada,
Wayata.
Wayatha,
Ya'ai Tazawa.
Yai Tazawa,
Al-Tazapawayaka.
Al Tazapawanyaka,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Lakawa.
Lakawat,
Wanakakiyadam.
Wanakakidam,
Magoya.
Nagal,
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah,
Yazakar.
Yazakar,
Sham Yasharala.
Sham Yasharala,
Awada.
Awada,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Nawai Tazawa.
Nawai Tazawa,
Nabat.
Labat,
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa,
Ayaka.
Adika,
Bariyah.
Bariyah,
Yakaratwa.
Yakaratwa,
Ahoya.
Ahoya,
Adawan.
Adawan,
Wayashamai.
Wayashamai,
Alayam.
Alayam,
Mawa'ab.
Mawa'ab,
Wahagari.
Wahagari,
Gabal.
Gabal,
Wa'amawan.
Wa'amawan,
Wa'amalat.
Wa'amalat,
Palashat.
Palashat,
Am Yishabi.
Am Yeshabia,
Tazawar.
Tazawar,
Gum Ashawar.
Gum Ashawar,
Nalawat.
Nalawat,
Imam.
Imam,
Hayawat.
Hayawat,
Zerawat.
Zerawat,
Labanya.
Labanya,
Lawat.
Lawat,
Salah.
Salah,
Aisha.
Aisha,
Laham.
Laham,
Kamadia.
Kamadia,
Kasaya.
Kasaya,
Sara'at.
Sara'at,
Kayabi.
Kayabi,
Banakal.
Banakal,
Koyashawan.
Koyashawan,
Nashamadu.
Nashamadu,
Bayan.
Bayan,
Jahaira.
Gaira,
Hayawat.
Hayawat,
Daman.
Daman,
La Adama.
La Adama,
Shayatama.
Sayathamwa,
Nada.
Nada,
Yatmua.
Yadmua,
Kairab.
Kairab,
Wakazabah.
Wakazabah,
Wakazabah.
Wakazabak,
Wakazalmanai.
Wakazalmanai,
Call Nasiakamwa.
Call Nasiakamwa,
Ashar.
Ashar,
Amarwa.
Amarwa,
Nairashah.
Narashah,
Lanawat.
Nalawat,
Ah. Na'awat.
Na'awat,
Alahayam.
Alahayam,
Alahayam.
Alahayam,
Shayathamwa.
Sayathamwa,
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala,
Kakwash.
Kakwash,
Napanya.
Yapanya,
Rawaka.
Rawaka,
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash,
Shaba'ira.
Dabaira,
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira,
Wakalahaba.
Wakalahaba,
Talahat.
Dalahat,
Hariyam.
Hariyam,
Khan.
Khan,
Daradat.
Daradatma,
Basaira.
Basairaka,
Wabasa.
Wabasa,
Wapath.
Wapathka,
Dabahalam.
Dabahalam,
Mala'ai.
Mala'ai,
Panyaham.
Panyaham,
Kwalawan.
Kwalawan,
Waya.
Waya,
Bakwashwa.
Bakwashwa,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa,
Waya.
Waya,
Behold.
Behold,
Adiai.
Adiai,
Waya.
Waya,
Kaparwa.
Kaparwa,
Waya.
Waya,
Abadwa.
Abadwa,
Waya.
Waya,
Dahaira.
Dahaira,
Kaya.
Kaya,
Atha.
Atha,
Shimka.
Shimka,
Yahweh.
Yahweh,
Lebarka.
Lebarka,
Ayawan.
Ayawan, Al,
Cow.
Cow,
Haratazah.
Haratazah. In the English, Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thy enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the
They
head.
have taken crafty
They
counsel
have taken crafty counsel
against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted
And consulted
against thy hidden ones.
against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them
and let us
off
cut them off
from being a
from
nation,
being a nation.
that the name of
The
Yasharallah
name of Yahshua
may be no more remembered.
may be no more remembered.
For they have consulted
For
together
they have consulted together
with one consent.
with one consent.
They are confederate against
They
thee,
have confederate against
the
thee,
tabernacles of Edom,
the tabernacles of Edom,
and the Ishmaelites
and the Ishmaelites,
of Moab,
of Moab,
and the Hagarenes,
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal,
Gabal,
and Ammon,
and Ammon,
and Amalek,
and Amalek,
the Philistines,
the Philistines,
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
the inhabitants of Tyre.
Assur is also joined with them.
Ashur is also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of
I
Lot.
have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah,
Salah,
do unto them
do unto them
as unto the Midianites,
as unto the Midianites,
as to Sisera,
as to Sisera,
as to Jabin,
as to Jabin,
at the brook of
the
Kison,
brook of Kison,
which perished at Endor.
perished at
They
Endor.
became as dung for the
They
earth.
became as down for the earth.
Make their nobles like Oreb,
Make their nobles like a ram,
and like Zael.
and like Zaire.
Yea,
Yea,
all their princes as
all
Zabah,
their princes as above.
and as
And
Zamuna,
as Zamuna,
who said,
who said,
Let us take to
Let us
ourselves
say to ourselves,
the houses of Yahweh in
the
possession.
house of Yahweh in possession.
O my power,
O my power,
make them like a wheel,
make them like a wheel,
as the stubble before the
as
wind,
the stubble before the wind,
as the fire burneth the
as
wood,
the fire burneth the
and as
wood,
the flame setteth the mountains on
as
fire.
the flame set the mountains on fire.
So persecute
So
them
persecute them
with thy tempest,
with thy tempest,
and make them
and
afraid
make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame,
Fill their faces with
that
shame,
they may seek thy
that they
name.
may seek thy name.
O Yahweh,
O Yahweh,
let them be
let
confounded
them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea,
Yea,
let them be put to
let
shame
them be put to shame,
and perish,
and perish,
that men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone,
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most
over
high
all the earth.
over all the earth.
Sorry, Mr. Turn. Sabbath.
Hey, shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai to the brothers, Yahweh Shema, Elathah Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai to the sisters, and to Wada for joining us once again. This is the ISUBK Chicago Sabbath service, or it's the ISUBK Sabbath service being held in Chicago under the authority of Commanding General Yohana. And we're going to, for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, we're going to pick up where we left off in the scriptures at Genesis 17 and 13. So what we do every week is we go over the scriptures from Genesis all the way to the end of the Bible, but we do it in Hebrew first, and then we give you the English translation and a breakdown of the scriptures so you can get a proper understanding of the Bible. So as I said, we're going to be picking up where we left off last week, you know what I mean, in the biblical narrative. So once again, we're going to do the Hebrew first, and then, did we freeze? Okay, there we go. The Hebrew first, and then we're going to translate in English.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 17, verse 13 in the Hebrew. From a wall, where your mall, it's like a yellow yard, bayatak, wama kanath, bust apart, it's like it cuts apart, wahayatha, barayatia, baba shurikam, labarayat, awalam, verse 14, wa'aral, zakar, ashar, la'ah, yamawal, ah, bashar, Arelatia, it's like Arelatuma. Wanakarata, Hanapash, Hahawa'a, Ma'amaya, Rabayatia, Apar, verse 15, Waya Amar, Alahayim, Amaraham, Shaya, Ashatak, La'ah, the Korah, Shema, Shaya, Kaya, Shara, Shema, verse 16, Wabarakatia, Atha, Wagam, Nethathia, Mamana, Laka, Ban, Wabarakayatha, Wayatha, Nagawayam, Malakaya, Amayim, Mamana, Yahayawa, verse 17, William Paul, Abaram, Al, Panayawa, William Carter, William Zakak, William Amar, Balabawa, Halaban, Ma'aha, Shana, Yawalad, Wa'af, Shara, Habath, Dashayam, Shana, Dalad, verse 18, William Amar, Abaraham, All, Ha'alahayim, Lawa, Yashama Ayal, so Yashama Ayal, Yakaya, Napanayak, verse 19, William Amar, Alahayim, Abal, Shara, Ashatak, Yaladah, Lakah, Ban, Makura'ath, Af, Shamawa, Yatazakak, Wakumatha, Fakiwaha, Kumati, Af, Barayatia, Atawa, Labarayath, Abalam, Nazaraiwa, Akayawa, verse 20. What are Lashama'al, Shamayatayak, Ana, Barakaya, it's like Barakatia, Atawa, Wa Parayatia, Atawa, Wa Rabayatia, Atawa, Bama'at, Ma'at, Shanayam, Aishar, Nashayam, Yawalayat, Wana Tata Yawa, Lagawaya, Ganawal.
All right, now we're going to pick it up in the English.
Genesis 17 and 12.
Yeah, 17, 13.
17, 13.
13?
Oh, Genesis 17, 13.
Okay, yeah.
Genesis chapter 17 and verse 13. He that is born in thy house, and he that is bought with thy money, must needs be circumcised. And my covenant shall be in your flesh for an everlasting covenant.
So this is when, so Abram just became Abraham after he wrestled with the angel. Now the Lord is giving him specific instructions concerning the covenant that he's making with Abraham. This is the law of circumcision. You know what I mean? That any male child that is born at 8 days old is to be circumcised.
Right.
You know what I mean? Whether it is a child of your household or a child that was bought with money of a stranger and is not thy seed. That means your servants, also the children of your servants. If you have servants and they give birth to a male child, any male child born inside of your household at 8 days old must be circumcised. So that's why it says, he that was born in thy house and he that is bought with money. So here's the thing. It's not illegal to have servants. It's not illegal to buy servants. Now, the slavery that we went through, people use it and say, see, slavery in the Bible.
Right.
It's a difference between slavery and servitude. You know what I'm saying? Because these servants are not going to get their backs beat to the point where, you know what I mean, it looks like I can't even describe it. We're not chopping their feet off, cutting babies out of their bellies. You know what I mean?
Right.
Assaulting their men, women, and children. Our women aren't kicking their babies down the stairs because they're frustrated and all the things that our oppressors did to us. This is righteous servitude under us. You know what I mean? So if you buy a servant, you can buy a child to be your servant. You can buy the child from the parents, or you bought the parents and the parents had a baby. That child must be circumcised to be in accordance with the law. Keep going.
Verse 14. And an uncircumcised man child, whose flesh of his foreskin is not circumcised, that soul shall be cut off from the people. He has broken my covenant.
So if you have a man child and he's not, and you don't circumcise him, this is under the old. The circumcision rule still applies, but it's changed towards the uncircumcised in modern times. Because now it's not about the circumcision of the flesh. It's more the circumcision of your spirit, of your mind, of following these laws, statutes, and commandments. But back then, if a man-child was not circumcised, he's cut off. You know what I mean? Because this was a law that the Lord gave to Abraham, that every male child had to be circumcised in Israel. You know what I mean?
And if I may, sir.
Common concept.
And right now, today, it's different denominations of the churches. The sanctified church still teaching that you can't serve the Lord if you're not circumcised. Today. To this day.
But here's the thing, though. In American society, and actually all across the world now, every child is circumcised. They don't do the 8-day thing. They don't do it in the lawful way that the Lord. They pretty much do it at birth. You know what I mean? So that just goes to show you like how the world changed and how the Lord changed it, because at pretty much at birth, majority of men's male children are circumcised. So, you know what I mean? So the law of circumcision is kind of being bastardized across the world. So that's why then the Lord knew this was coming. So if everybody is circumcised, then it's a lot not to dwell on this, then this law is just fulfilled everywhere. But then sin is everywhere. So it's more important to be circumcised in your heart, in your spirit, in your mind, and your actions and your deeds by following the law, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter what's going on with your flesh does matter. Don't get it wrong. But more importantly is your heart, which means your mind and your spirit. You know what I mean? Keep going, sir.
Verse 15. And God said unto Abraham, as for Sarai, thy wife, thou shalt not call her name Sarai, but Sarah shall her name be.
So the Lord just renamed Sarai to Sarah. Now everybody knows Abraham and Sarah, but you have to remember they were Abram and Sarai. And then the Lord made them into new creatures. They became new beings. And henceforth, they got new names. And that's a tradition that we have in the Israelite school of UPK till this day.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You come into this school. As a man, you do your 90 days. As a woman, you do your 6 months. You come to class. You learn. You change who you are. You change your eating habits. You stop smoking. You stop sleeping around. You clean yourself up. Clean up your body, you clean up your mind, you become a new creature, and you get a new name according to your spirit.
Right.
And as with Abraham and Sarai, the Lord named Abraham. The Lord named Sarai.
Right.
Sarah. You know what I'm saying? They didn't name themselves. So the tradition we follow in the UPK, we don't name ourselves. I'm not going into a book. Everybody and every other cat outside of the ISUPK is some type of gabar. Everybody wants to be some type of warrior. You know what I mean? Or something, or power or something like that. Listen, your parents named you. The Lord named Abraham and Sarah. So we don't name ourselves. We get named by the Lord in here. Salaki. That's just a little side note, you know what I mean? Because you got a lot of brothers out here. I've seen a brother that had 4 or 5 different names before he decided to settle on one name. When you were born, your mama didn't say, oh, there go little Billy. No, that's little Ray Ray. No, that's little Raphael. No, you know what? We going to call him David. You know what I mean? It's ridiculous, man. Keep going, sir.
Verse 16. And I will bless her and give thee a son also of her. Yea, I will bless her, and she shall be a mother of nations. Kings of people shall be of her.
So he said, look, I'm going to bless Sarah, your wife, to have sons, and she's going to be a mother of nations. You know what I mean? And this is a heavy thing right here. This is the Lord showing his power to Abraham.
That's right.
Saying your wife is going to be a mother of nations. She's going to give birth to kings. You know what I mean?
Right.
Can you imagine that? All of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you're having this vision, and the Lord is coming to you, and an angel comes to you, and he's delivering this message to the Lord and say that your wife is going to be a mother of kings. Now, he didn't say a queen. He said a mother of kings.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we don't have queens in Israel.
That's right.
We got princes and princesses.
Right.
We got one king, and that's Yahweh Shai.
That's right.
That's it. You know what I mean? Keep going, sir.
17. Then Abraham fell upon his face
Mm-hmm.
and laughed.
And what?
And laughed.
Abraham said, "Oh, Lord." Keep going.
And said in his heart,
Mm-hmm.
Shall a child be born unto him that is 100 years old?
Mm.
And shall Sarah that is 90 years old bear slack?
Abraham cracked up laughing. You know what I'm saying? He fell down and laughed like, wait, I'm 100. I'm 100 years old and she 90. You know what I'm saying? And Sarai was barren. She couldn't have children.
Right.
So that's why Abraham started cracking up like, yo, God, you wild. I'm 90, I'm 100 years old, she 90 years old, and she ain't never been able to have babies. And we gonna bear children. I'm gonna be a father of nations. She gonna be a mother of nations and kings. Yo, can you imagine in the spirit how, you know what I'm saying, hilarious that might have sounded to Abraham? You know what I mean? Keep going, sir.
Verse 18. And Abraham said unto God, O thy Ishmael might live before thee.
He said, Ishmael might live before thee. Now keep in mind, you know what I'm saying? Ishmael is gone because his mother Hagar was disrespecting Sarah. You know what I'm saying? And got banished for being disrespectful to her and trying to shame the sister for not being able to have kids. When Sarah's the one that gave Hagar to Abram to have kids with, to fulfill the prophecy that the Lord had told Abram about. You know what I'm saying? And because of her wickedness, she got banished. So if you don't know, Hagar is the mother of Ishmael. Ishmael is the progenitor of the Ishmaelites, who are the modern day Arabs and Middle Eastern people, the Saudi Arabians, the Arabs, the Iranians, Iraqis, all the Muslim nations know that they descend from Ishmael. You know what I'm saying? But the thing that they're trying to do is graft themselves into the covenant or create a different covenant that was supposedly made with Ishmael, but it's not the covenant that was made with Israel. You know what I mean? So they did have a promise from the Lord. The Lord promised them certain things, but he didn't make a covenant with Ishmael. He didn't give Ishmael the law, statutes, and commandments. As a matter of fact, Ishmael's mama got them banished early on. You know what I mean? And maybe if she was not as wicked, they possibly could have been God's people. But no, they're not. We are. Keep going, sir.
That's right. 19. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed, and thou shalt call his name Isaac. And I will establish my covenant with him for an everlasting covenant, and with his seed after him.
Read that one more time if you could. Now see, this is the difference between Isaac and Ishmael. The Lord made Ishmael a promise. And the promise, we'll see what he said about Ishmael. But this is what he said about Isaac. Keep going, sir.
Verse 19. And God said, Sarah thy wife shall bear thee a son indeed.
So Sarah at 90 years old and Abraham, you at 100, Sarah's going to bear you a son. Keep going.
And thou shalt call his name Isaac.
And his name shall be what?
Isaac.
His name will be Isaac, not Ishmael. Isaac, not Esau. Isaac. Keep going.
And I will establish my covenant with him.
And I will do what?
Establish my covenant with him.
Keep going.
For an everlasting covenant.
He will establish his covenant with Isaac. And it will be an everlasting covenant with Isaac. So when the Ishmaelites say that the Lord made a covenant with Ishmael and Ishmael got this promise and all this other stuff, la'ah.
Right.
A promise and a covenant are two different things.
That's right.
Two different things. Ishmael's promise has been fulfilled. Look at how mighty and powerful they are in the world. They're a wild man and feared and hated and loved and hated by many nations. And people follow them all over the globe. And it's a lot of them. That's all he promised them. He did not promise them the kingdom. He did not promise them rulership. He did not promise them servitude directly under Christ as God's chosen people. But they do have a servitude under God's chosen people, but we're under Christ. Christ is our king, not theirs.
That's right.
We rule over them as Christ rules over us. We rule the world. So we rule over them. They are not a part of us. And they do not have the covenant. Read.
Right. And with his seed after him.
And it's going to be with Isaac and his seed after him for generation to generation to generation. It's going to be with us. Isaac is the progenitor of Jacob, and Jacob is the progenitor to Israel. So we worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
That's right.
And that is the lineage that comes down to Israel and down to you to this very day if you are Black, Hispanic, or Native American. That bloodline, that royal bloodline that started with Abraham, that started with Adam, and then went to Noah, and then went to Abraham and Isaac, Jacob, Moses, Jesus, and now to you. You are part of a royal bloodline and a royal priesthood, and this is your origin story right here. Keep going, sir.
Verse 20. And as for Ishmael, I have heard thee. Behold, I have blessed him and will make him fruitful and will multiply him exceedingly. 12 princes shall he beget, and I will make him a great nation.
Boom. That's what he promised them. That's a promise. The Lord said, you know what? I heard you asking about your son Ishmael, because Abraham loved his son. That's his firstborn son. Don't get it wrong. You know what I mean? And he said, I heard you concerning your son Ishmael, and I'm going to make him, I'm going to bless him. He's going to be fruitful. He'll multiply exceedingly on the earth. He's going to have 12 princes, and he's going to be a great nation. Promise fulfilled. Promise fulfilled. Ishmael is a great nation on this earth. Islam is the fastest growing. Islam is the fastest or second fastest, is the fastest growing religion in the world right now, and has been for years. It was Christianity, and Islam has grown and grown and grown. The Lord's promise, the Lord blessed Ishmael. Ishmael has oil. It's unbelievable how much oil Ishmael got, and gold. Ishmael be having gold Benzes and gold AKs and gold mansions, gold toilets. You know what I'm saying? They live in gold. And they're so rich on this earth, it's ridiculous. They'll never spend their money. These Arab billionaires and oil czars and oil barons and stuff like that over there, they will never spend if this earth lasts another 100 years, they'll never. One of them would never spend, their family couldn't possibly spend the money that they got within 100 years. That's how rich they are. So their promise has been fulfilled. Our promise is yet to be fully fulfilled. It's coming though, black man. Right. It's coming. You know what I mean? All right, we're going to get these next 7. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 17 and verse 21 in the Hebrew. Wa'ath, Barayathia, Akayam, Ath, Yatazakak, Ashar, Dalad, Lak, Shara, Lamawa'id, Hazahah, Bashana, Hakarath, verse 22, Wayakal, Ladabar, Athwa, Waya'il, Al-Yaham, Al-Hayam, Ma'il, Abraham, verse 23, Wayakwak, Abraham, Ad, Yashmael, Yashmael, Banawa, Wa'ath, Call, Layadya, Bayathwa, Wa'ath, Call, Makwanath, Kasapwa, Call, Zakar, Banashia, Bayath, Abraham, Wayamal, Ad, Bashar, Irelathum, Ba'itazam, Hayawam, Hazahah, Kashar, Debar, Athwa, Alahayam, verse 24. Alahayam, sorry, verse 24. Wabaram, Saka, Wabarium, Ban, the Shayam, with the Shy, Shana, Bamalak, Saka, Bahamalwa, Bashar, Idolathwa, verse 25. Will you Shemai, Saka, will you Shemayal, Saka, Banwa, Ban, Shalash, Asherah, Shana, Bahamalwa, Ath, Bashar, Irelathwa, verse 26. Baitazam, Hayawam, Hazah, Namawal, Abraham, Washamayal, Banawa, verse 27. Wakal, Anashia, Bayathwa, Sakya, Yalat Sakya, Yalayad, Bayath, Wamakwanath, Kasap, Ma'ath, Ban, Nakar, Namalwa, Athwa. I don't know why that last one jammed me up so easy. All right, let's pick it up in the English.
17 to 21.
Mm-hmm.
But my covenant.
My what?
But my covenant.
He said, but now I'm going to do this for Ishmael. Ishmael is going to be a great, exceeding nation on this earth. He's going to be fruitful. I'm going to bless him. I'm going to take care of your son Ishmael. I'm making you this promise. But my covenant, read.
Will I establish with Isaac?
What?
Will I establish with Isaac?
But the Lord said he's going to establish his covenant with Isaac, which comes down to Jacob, which comes down to Israel, which comes down to the blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Right. It's us. So Ishmael never received the covenant. He never received the promises. He never received the adoption. He never received anything except that one promise that has been fulfilled. The Lord kept his word concerning Ishmael, but his covenant is established with Isaac, which is therefore established with the Israelites, with the nation of Israel. Read.
Which Sarah shall bear unto thee at this set time in the next year.
He says, look, I'm going to establish my covenant with Isaac, who Sarah's going to give birth to and bear for you within the next year. So basically, the next time you lay with your woman, she's going to get her pregnant. And within the next year, which 9, 10, 11 months, 9 to 12 months, she's going to bear you Isaac, who I'm going to establish my covenant with and make a great exceeding nation out of you, and kings will be born out of this because of that. Keep going.
and if I may, it's so heavy what you're bringing out. And you think about the Lord made a promise to for Ishmael and them, and how they living right now today. So imagine the covenant, the position we'll be in once the Lord come back and we, follow these laws, statutes, commandments. I mean, it's you can't even imagine.
Yeah, Khan. And that's heavy what you're saying, because we have no idea the glory that's ahead of us. We can imagine it, we can try to picture it, but like Officer Rum just said, look at how our so-called Middle Eastern counterparts are living. Look at how the Islamic nation is living. You know what I mean? Look at the Arabs. Look at, you know what I'm saying? Look at not the Palestinians and Afghanistan, all the people that are over there in the war zone struggling, but you got to look at amongst their elite. Look how they're really living. You know what I'm saying? Look at how they're living. And even if they are in that war zone, they come over here and they get treated 10 times better than you. They get grants, they get businesses, they run every goddamn 7-Eleven and gas station and Baba's and Sharks and name a chicken shack, except Harold's. You know what I mean? Harold's and Uncle Remus are here in Chicago. Them still black owned for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But they everything is at their disposal. They can be over there in a war zone in sheer utter poverty, ribs touching, and all they got to do is make their way over here to America and become American citizens, and they live better than you. They live above you. They rule over you. That's our punishment, and that's part of their promise. They will be where they're going to their position in the earth. You know what I mean? And so that's the Lord doing for them what he promised Abraham. And the Lord is a God that keeps his word.
That's right.
He keeps his promises. And he also keeps his covenant. He also takes his covenant seriously.
That's right.
And because we broke the covenant, because we disobeyed the Lord, that's why every nation is over you. You know what? That was also a promise that the Lord made to us. You know what I mean? Keep going, sir.
22. And he left off talking with him, and God went up from Abraham.
Right, so he left off talking from Abraham. He left off talking with him, and God went up with Abraham. So they pretty much walked off talking. Keep going.
Verse 23. And Abraham took Ishmael, his son, and all that were born in his house, and all that were bought with his money, every male among men of Abraham's house, and circumcised the flesh of their foreskins in the same day as God had said unto him.
So you see, Abraham didn't play. When God left off from talking to him, when their conversation was done, when that angel left, Abraham went into the house and circumcised every male child. He didn't play. He didn't wait. He didn't drag his feet. Abraham got an order and he immediately carried it out with zeal. That same day, he went and fulfilled what the Lord told him to do, which is what we should do. It's what we're supposed to do. When you hear this word, man, listen, time is running short.
That's right.
You need to get into the Israelite school of UPK. You need to come in here and learn what it is to be God's chosen people, to be a brother and a sister. If you are Black, Hispanic, and Native American on your father's side, then you need to come into this school and stop delaying and do what Abraham did and immediately obey the order that you have been given by the Most High, which is to walk away from this wicked, sinful world and do what the Lord has told you to do and come clean yourself up and become a new creature, just like Abraham and Sarah did.
Right.
Keep going, sir.
Verse 24. And Abraham was 90 years old and 9 when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin.
Abraham was 99 years old. Can you imagine at 99 years old getting circumcised? As a child, you don't remember that pain. As a grown man, you're going to remember that pain. Keep going.
Verse 25. And Ishmael, his son, was 13 years old when he was circumcised in the flesh of his foreskin. In the self-same day was Abraham circumcised, and Ishmael his son, and all the men of his house born in the house and bought with money of the stranger were circumcised with him.
So that day, just like the Lord told him, every male child in your house, you, your son, your servants, every male child born in your house and in your house need to be circumcised. And Abraham went around the house. And remember, Abraham was a wealthy brother. He had plenty servants. You know what I mean? So that's not a daunting task right there. That ain't something that you just get done in an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? But he made sure that before the end of the day was done, that he followed the Lord's order.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Because Abraham was a man of faith. He believed in the Lord. He believed in God. And when he wrestled with that angel and saw the power and knew what it was, he didn't turn around and question it anymore. He followed the God-done order and did what it took for him to receive that promise. So him and his seeds will be blessed on this earth and could have rulership on this earth and be in line with the creator of all things, the Most High God. You know what I mean? Let's get these next 7.
The book of Genesis, chapter 18, and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Wayarah, Alayawah, Yahweh, Ba'alanya, Mamarah, Wahawa, Yeshab, Patak, Ha-Ahol, Kakam, Hayawam, verse 2, Wayashah, Ayana Yawah, Wayarah, Wahana, Shalasha, Anashiyam, Ataza Kayam, Al-Yawah, Wayarah, Wayaratazah, Akoratham, Mapathak, Ha'ahal, Wayashatawat, Wayashakatwa, Aratazah, verse 3, Wayamar, it's like Wayamar, Adaniah, Na'ah, Atazatia, Khan, Ba'ayana Yak, All, Na'ah, Daibar, Ma'al, Abadak, verse 4, Yaquak, Na'ah, Ma'ait, Mayam, Warbakatazawat, Regala Lakam, and Regala Yakam, Washa Ayawa, the Kaf, Ha'aitazah, verse 5, Wayakuka, Path, Lakam, what's the idea? What's the idea? Lavakam, Athar, it's like a car. The Abarawa, Kanya, Al, Khan, Abaratham, Al, Abadakam, Wayamarwa, Khan, the Aisha, Ka'ashar, the Barath, verse 6, Wayamahar, Abaram, it's like Abaraham, it's like Hala, All, Shara, Wayamar, Maharaya, Shalash, Sayam, Komak, Salaf, Lavashaya, Raishaya, Agawath, verse 7, were all. Dabakor, Ratazah,
Habakor.
like Habakor, Ratazah, Avaram, Wayaquak, Ban, Bakar, Bakar, Watawah, Wayathud, All, Hanaiah, Wayamahar, Laishawath, Atawa.
All right, let's pick it up in English.
Genesis, chapter 18, verse 1. And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre. Mamre.
Yeah.
And he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself towards the ground.
So Abraham was in, the heat of the day. You know how it is when it get hot. You see them waves. That's the heat of the day right there. And in the door appeared 3 men. And Abraham knew who those men were, and he immediately went and bowed himself towards the ground. Because you imagine you looking out the door of your tent and you see the heat waves going, and all of a sudden 3 brothers is right there. You know what I'm saying? That would you're gonna jump up and bow. It's a lucky. Go ahead.
Verse 3. And said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant.
Mm-hmm.
Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree.
So he just said, if I found favor in your sight, Lord, because Abraham did what the Lord said. And then he's sitting there chilling, and then the angels appear out of nowhere. And he said, if I've done, please don't leave. Let me get some water and let me wash your feet. Back in the days, that was a tradition to wash a person's feet, because you're traveling on the road. We wore sandals. You know what I mean? Back then, we weren't barefoot like Africans. You know what I mean? We wore sandals. So if you come off a long road trip, your feet are dusty. So it was a sign of courtesy and respect, and just playing out and being a good host for you to wash a person's feet when they came in. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 5. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on, for therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said.
So he said, let me also get you some bread and some water, some bread. Let me be a host. Let me host you. You know what I mean? So that way, you know what I'm saying, when you pass on, you came to your servant, so that way when you leave, you know what I mean, you see what I'm in line with you. You know that I'm in the right spirit. You know I'm doing what you said. You know what I mean? I'm being a good host. You know what I'm saying? And they said, go ahead and do the things you said you're going to do. They said, proceed. Keep going, sir.
Verse 6. And Abraham hastened unto the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 morsels of fine meal.
Needed
it. And make cakes upon the hearth. 7. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hastened to dress it.
Now, when it said he hastened to dress it, don't think like he put some sneakers on it and a garment. No, he's when what they call dressing is undressing it. Basically, he separated. He slaughtered it, skinned it, chopped it up to be served, to be cooked and served.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Now, don't think angels don't need to eat. Right. Don't think that they have to eat, because some people get real simple. Like I had a Ishmaelite tell me, my God doesn't rest. Your God had to rest, because it said on the 7th day the Lord rested. The Lord gave rest so we could have a day of rest. You know what I mean? But they get proud. People get proud. See that our angels don't have to eat. Your angels have to eat. No, our angels accepted. The angels accepted his hospitality and his brotherhood as a symbol of the brotherhood, as a symbol of his obedience to the Lord. They let him be a gracious host, and they did not refuse what he was offering them, because he was being a brother even to the angels, an obedient servant to the Lord, and a gracious host to his guests, which we all should be. Keep going.
Verse 8.
Oh, no, that was 7. All right, let's get these, let's get these next 7. So it's the book of Genesis, chapter 17, and verse 8 in the Hebrew. Wayakwak, Kama'ah, Wakalab, Waban, Habakwar, Ashar, Aisha, Wayathan, Lapanyaham, Wahawa, Aymar, Al-Yaham, the Kath, Haitazah, Wayalak, Callwa. Verse 9. Amarwa, Aliwa, Ayath, Shara, Ashathak, Wayamar, Hana, Ba'ahal. Verse 10. Wayamar, Shawab, Ashawab, Aliyak, Ka'ath, Kaya, Wahana, Ban, Lasharah, Hashatak, Ashatak, Washarah, Shema'ith, Patak, Ha'ahal, Waha, Akaryawa, verse 11. Wa'abaram, Washara, Zaquanyam, Ba'ayam, Bayamayam, Kadal, Lahayawat, Lashara, Arak, Kanashim, verse 12. Watatazar, Watazakwak, Shara, Bakwarab, Bakaraba, La'amar, Akarya, Balathia, Hayatha, Laya, Idanya, Wadanya, Zakwan, verse 13. Wayamar, Yahweh, Al, Abraham, Lama, Za'ah, Tazakak, Tazaka, Kwaha, Shara, Lamar, Ha'ak, Amanya, Alad, Wa'anya, Zakwanathia, verse 14. Hayapala, Mayahawa, Debar, Lamawa'id, Asawab, Alayak, Ka'ith, Kaya, Walashara, Ban. That's it, right? 14. That was it. All right, let's pick it up in the English.
Genesis 18 and chapter 8. And he took butter and milk and the calf which he had dressed and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree, and they did eat.
So he gave him butter, milk, meat. You know what I mean? They kind of basically had, you know what I'm saying, some good, it's a good meal. You know what I mean? That's either made sandwiches or, you know, he just had a meal where he sat underneath the tree and they ate together. He ate together with the angels. They accepted his hospitality. They could have said, well, we're superior beings and we don't eat. They didn't do that. Right. You know what I mean? A gracious host, and you also be a gracious guest. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Keep going.
Verse 9. And they said unto him, where is Sarah, thy wife? And he said, behold, in the tent. 10. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door, which was behind her.
And he said, where is Sarah? He said, oh, she's in the tent. He said, listen, I'm going to come back to you within the time of life. For those of you who don't know what the time of life is, that's called 9 months. He just basically told him, I'm going to come back to you in 9 months, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son. And Sarah heard him. She's in the tent behind the door. She heard him. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Verse 11. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age.
Now they were up there because remember, Abraham is 99 and Sarah is 90. You know what I mean? Keep going.
And it ceased to be with Sarah after the manner of woman.
That means that she was well past the age of giving birth. It ceased to be with her after the manner of women. The manner of women is to bear children.
Right.
You know what I mean? But she was beyond that point. At 90 years old, I do think that you ain't thinking about having no babies. Now, Abraham is fortunate enough to still be virile enough to please his wife at 99 years old. But Sarah, she ain't having no babies, no matter what they do. You know what I'm saying? Except that it be about the decree of the Lord. It be the will of the Lord. The Lord is the one who opens up the womb. The Lord is the one. It don't matter how much you have sex with your wife. She will not get pregnant until the Lord deems it time.
That's right.
The Lord is the one that opens up the womb and helps life and puts life in that womb. So a barren woman can have children if it's the Lord's will, if the Lord wills it to be so.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sarah, who's 90 years old, barren as all as you can possibly be at 90 years old, is still going to conceive a son.
That's right.
Keep going.
Verse 12. Therefore Sarah laughed within herself, saying, after I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also?
And she said, woo, I'm so old. After all this time, I'm old. Will I have pleasure? The pleasure of having a child, of being a mother, of having life develop in her womb and producing and replicating herself and her husband into the world and bearing a child. That is a pleasure. I know this society has made it seem like a curse, and they give you all sorts of alternatives, you know what I mean, to having birth. But it is a pleasure. It is an honor, and it is a gift from the Most High for you to be able to conceive a child. Sarah was barren in her young age. That's why she gave Hagar, her handmaid, to Abram so that he could bear Ishmael and have a son, because she didn't want her Lord to go and not have a seed on this earth to live, for his name to pass down and his bloodline and his lineage to pass down. Now it's her turn. And she called it a pleasure. Keep going.
If I may. Back in just what, a few years ago, 30 years ago, we had large families. And the women, you might see a family with 12 or 13 kids, and they had less. And you had the mother and the dad in the house. But as time going past with this society, women find any excuse to kill the children nowadays. You know what I'm saying? One child is too much for these women today.
Right, because they don't want to be with a man. They don't want to share a man. They don't want to do all the things that their grandmothers, their mothers, and their grandmothers did, and their great-grandmothers. Like you said, a house with 12 kids was normal in the black community, the black, Hispanic, and Native community. To go into a house and somebody had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12 kids. That was normal. And we had less. We were poor. Sometimes lived in shacks and shanty houses, but we were happy. We were family, and we strived together and struggled together. You know what I'm saying? And our name multiplied in this earth. Nowadays, women don't have babies because they want to pursue their career chasing after a dollar. You know what I'm saying? Brothers are so selfish. They don't want to have babies. Whatever excuses they come up with, it's against the will of the Lord, because he told us to be fruitful and multiply. And look at this story right here. This sister could not bear a child, and she is happy at 90 years old to be able to conceive a child for her husband. That's right. Keep going, sir.
13. And the Lord said unto Abraham, wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, shall I of a surety bear a child which am old?
And he said, yo, why is she laughing? Sarah didn't know. She laughed to herself. This is how you know these are angels. Sarah inside of herself laughed and said, I'm going to bear a child now. I'm old. Do I had the pleasure of bearing a child? And the angel, as soon as she finished laughing inside of her head, the angel turned to Abraham and says, why your woman laughing? She said to herself, am I going to bear a child? He just read her mind. He knows, the Lord knows your thoughts.
That's right.
Ain't no hiding from the Lord or from the angels. The angel heard her laughing and just asked Abraham, yo, why is she laughing, yo? We just told you she's going to have a kid. Keep going.
Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord?
Say again, sir.
Is anything too hard for the Lord?
He said, is there anything that's too hard for the Lord? If we came and told you. Now, this is how you know it's an angel. He said, is anything too hard for the Lord? We just came and told you that the Lord said that y'all are going to conceive.
Right.
What's she laughing about? What's so funny? You know what I mean? Keep going.
At the time appointed, I will return unto thee, according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son.
He said, listen, man, like I said, at the time appointed, according to in 9 months, I'm going to come back and Sarah's going to have a son. Basically, you can take that to the bank. You know what I mean? Let's get these next 8.
My cousin?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, basically, like in today's time, what that means, like if sister laughing her man, it's like, oh, damn, she's happy that she can be able to finally have a child.
Yeah. I mean, she was happy, but she was amazed.
Right.
You know what I mean? Sarah was like, can you imagine you and your rib, y'all don't have no kids, and then all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying, you get visited by an angel, and the angel come and say, hey, man, in 9 months, you finna have your first son.
Right.
And y'all 70, 80, 90 years old. You know what I'm saying? You almost can't blame the sister for laughing. You know what I'm saying? But the angel is like, yo, is there anything too hard for the Lord to do? It's like he not chastising her per se for laughing, but he like, you know, what's she laughing at? Like, she don't believe it's gonna happen. She's in disbelief.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? He like, you know, what's there to disbelieve? The Lord said it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Period. The Lord's word is better than gold. You know what I mean? All right, let's go.
Because the book of Genesis, chapter 18 and verse 15 in the Hebrew, what the Kakash, Sharab, La'amar, La'at, Tazakwak, the Kaya, Yara'aha, wa Ya'amar, La'at, Kaya, Tazakwak, verse 16, where Kwamwa, Masham, Ha'anashim, where Shokopawa, Al, Panaya, Saddam, it's like Wa'abaram, the Lot, Imam, La'ashalakam, verse 17, Wayawa, Amar, Hamakasa, Anaya, Ma'abaram, Ashar, Anaya, Aisha, verse 18, Wa'abaram, Hayawa, Yahaya, Nagawaya, Ganawal, Wa'atazawan, Wanabarakawa, Bawa, Call, Gawayaya, Ha'arataza, verse 19, Kaya, Yara'aita Wa, Lama'ain, Ashar, Yatazawa, Af, Banayawa, Wa'af, Bayatawa, Akaryawa, Washamarwa, the Rock, Yahweh, La'ishawaf, Tazadakwa, Wamashapat, Lama'ain, Havaya, Yahweh, Al, Abaram, Af, Ashar, the Bar, Aliyawa, verse 20, Wayamar, Yahweh, Zaiquath, Saddam, Waimara, Kaya, Rabah, Wakata, Atham, Kaya, Kamada, Ma'ad, verse 21, Arada, Na'a, Wa'araha, Hagataza, Akuka, it's like Hata, it's like Haka, Taza, Awata, Haba'aha, Aliyah, Aishawa, Kala, Wa'am, La'a, Adaiha.
All right, let's get the English.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 15. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laugh not, for she was afraid. And he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh.
She said, I didn't laugh. She came out like, oh, Slocky said, no, I didn't laugh. She was afraid because she knew the angels was in there. She was surprised Also, that would you imagine that you sitting in the other room and you laugh in your head and say, "Huh." He's saying they're saying this gonna happen, not because of XYZ, blah 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 blah. And then the person in the next room like, yo, why she laughing? And she said this. That would terrify you because he just read your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? So she came back in afraid and denied laughing. He said, oh, yeah, you laughed. I heard you. Keep going.
Verse 16 slightly. Mm-hmm. And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom. Mm-hmm. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. Mm-hmm. 17. And the Lord said, shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do? Mm.
So they got up and went and looked towards Sodom. And Abraham went and escorted them out, you know what I mean, and walked with them. And the Lord said, should I hide this from them? Or should I let them know what I'm about to do? You know what I mean? Keep going.
18. Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, mm-hmm. and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
He said he's going to be a great, I chose him to be a great mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth are going to be blessed because of him, in him. You know what I mean? And how is that blessing going to happen? By being under the rulership of Israel.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So he just said, he going to be a great man. His seeds, you know, he going to be a great nation. They going to rule the earth. So I let him know what we're about to do. Keep going.
Verse 19. For I know him, that he will command his children and his household after him. Mm. And they shall keep the way of the Lord, to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring upon Abraham that which he has spoken of him.
He said, well, I know it. He said, I know this man. He said, you know what? I know Abraham. And he's going to raise his kids up to do exactly what I want them to do. They're going to be, they're going for justice and judgment. You know what I mean? He is going to do everything that I told him to do. Basically, he said Abraham is a good and faithful servant.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So, you know what? I'm going to tell him. I know the brother. He's a good brother. He's obedient. You know what I mean? He follows. I just gave him the command. I just gave him a covenant and told him what to do. And he immediately carried out my instructions with zeal and did not haste, with no hesitation. So I know he's going to be good. I know he's going to do everything that I expect of him. So let him know what's going to happen. Keep going.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 20. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their sin is very grievous.
So we coming into the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. Now he said that the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great. Now what you don't know, everything is spiritual. Mm-hmm. And it says these cities cry out. There's a spirit inside of the cities that cry out to the Lord. It's the collective mourning of the souls of the people because of how grievous the sins of Sodom and Gomorrah was. The Lord could hear the cries of the victims of Sodom and Gomorrah. People were being abused. People were being assaulted. People were being unalived. People were being viciously brutalized and victimized in Sodom and Gomorrah. And of course, we know the name Sodom is the root word, and that place is the chief place that of the word sodomy. Where do you think the word sodomy came from? From the city of Sodom. It's what they were known for. You know what I mean? Keep going.
It's like, if I may, and what's so heavy about what you're bringing out in the precept right here, we could equate that right now today as America being the modern day Egypt.
That's right. That's right. So like it said that that the time that in the end of days, the place that we live will be in modern day Sodom and Egypt. Sodom because of the sodomy, because of the LGBTQ lifestyle that runs rampant in America. We told you this years ago. The Isupk or the Commander General Yohana has been telling you for years how rampant homosexuality would be in America.
That's right.
That LGBTQ would take over America in every facet in America. And now it's in all of the entertainment. It's all over the television. It's in every movie. It's in the elementary schools. It's in kindergarten and Head Start. It's in your household. It permeates all through this wicked kingdom. So that's why it said that this place would be Sodom. And then it said, and Egypt. Well, what's the correlation to Egypt besides how they love the pyramids, besides their construction, besides the money, is our slavery. The brutal, unrelenting slavery that we have been trapped in this place for well over 400 years.
That's right.
Just like we were in Egypt, and just like Pharaoh, America refuses to let the children of Israel go.
That's right.
And just like Egypt, America thinks that it is going to go on and live forever. Right. And just like Egypt, it's going to have a glorious destruction that is going to be the stuff of a legend.
That's right.
That will be talked about and passed down from generation to generation to generation, to be an example to not only, once again, to us of the Lord's mercy and love for us, but to the other nations of the Lord's wrath when you mess with the children of Israel. Continue on, sir.
Verse 21. I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which it came unto me. And if not, I will know.
So he said, I'm finna go down and investigate the city. I'm finna go and see if they're doing according to the cries, to the cries that I'm hearing from this city. To all the pain and the suffering and the prayers, you know what I mean? And the screams and the torment. I'm finna see it for myself. And if it's not that, I'll know. And I'll leave them alone. But if it is that, we're going to see what happens. Let's get these next.
If I may, one more time.
Yeah, come.
And right now, today, the Lord hear the cries of his people.
That's right.
In North America.
That's right.
I'm saying, and once again, if we turn back to the law, statutes, commandments, like we were supposed to, the Lord, we got to wait there. Instead of voting, getting into the presidential vote and all this other political stuff that ain't got nothing to do with us, turn back to the Lord.
That's right.
For help.
That's right. I know we're gonna
slack for that.
No, that's heavy, sir, and that's correct. The Lord, don't think it said the Lord hears the cries of the wicked city. You know what I'm saying? America, Sodom was that wicked city, Sodom and Gomorrah back then. Egypt was that wicked city. Babylon was that wicked city. Rome, Greece, all of these places were them wicked city. And the Lord heard the cries and came down, and those places are no more. The exact same fate lies in the future of America.
That's right.
Like Officer Rum said, the Lord hears the cries of this wicked city. He hears your cries and your suffering. You are crying out to the Lord. A lot of times you're crying out to the Lord and don't even know it. Don't even know it. Yeah, you're out here doing drugs. Yeah, you're out here living this American life, trying to live your best life. You don't need a man. You're having sex with everything that'll open his legs or bend over in front of you. You're using all types of drugs. You're shooting and killing each other. You're robbing and stealing. You're doing all of these terrible things. But guess what? Inside you, there is a righteous being inside of you that has been suppressed and tormented, and it cries out to the Lord. Not only for your sins, but the sins that our oppressors have put us in.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And make a normal everyday lifestyle for us. And have programmed us to be. Your soul, your spirit is crying out to the Lord, and he hears it, just like he heard it in Sodom and Gomorrah, and he's going to visit America.
That's right.
And when he does, woe to America.
Damn right.
Let's get these next 7, Mariah.
The book of Genesis, chapter 18, and verse 22 in the Hebrew. Weyapanwa, Masham, Ha'anashim, Weyalakwa, Sadamah, Wa'abaram, Awadanwa, Imad, Lapanya, Yahweh, verse 23, Weyagash, Abaram, Weyamar, Ha'ap, Hasapah, Tazadayak, Ain, Rashai, verse 24, Awaliyah, Rasha, Kamashiyam, Tazadayaquam, Batawak, Ha'ayar, Ha'ap, Dasapah, Wala'at, Dasa, Namakuam, Nama'ain, Hamashiyam, Hatazadayaquam, Ashar, Kukorabah, verse 25, Kalala, it's like Kalala, Laka, Ma'ashaf, Kalabar, Hazab, Lahamayaf, Tazadayak, Ain, Rashai, Wahaya, Tazadayak, Barashai, Kalala, Laka, Hashapat, Kal, Ha'arataza, La'ah, Yaisha, Mashapat, verse 26, where Yamar, Yahweh, Amatazah, Basadat, Basadam, Hamashiam, Tazadayakum, Batawak, the Ayar, Wanashi Atia, Lakal, Hamakawam, Ba'abayaram, verse 27, where Ain, Avaram, where Amar, Hada, Na'ah, Hawalatia, Ladabar, Al, Adanya, Wa'anathia, Ipar, Wa'apar, verse 28, Awalaya, Yakasa, Darwan, Hamashiyam, the Taza, the Yaku, Taza, the Yaku, Hamashi, Kamasha, Hadasha, Akayaf, Bakamasha, Kal, Hayar, Wiyamar, La'ah, Ashakayaf, Amataza, Sham, Abarai, Washamasha.
Verse 18, verse 22. And the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, but Abram stood yet before the Lord.
Now the two men that were with them, they left, and Abram stood in front of the Lord, which is the head angel. You know what I mean? That's not the Lord himself. You know what I mean? But that is the power that was there. And the angels, the other two angels, they left and went towards Sodom and Gomorrah. Go, keep going.
Verse 23. And Abram drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked?
He's like, whoa, are you just going to, everybody, you're going to destroy the righteous too? He don't care about the wicked. He's worried about the righteous. Keep going.
Verse 24.
Peradventure
there be 50 right within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
He said, if it's 50 righteous men in the city, would you not spare the city for the 50 righteous men? Like it's 50 brothers that are righteous. You know what I mean? Keep going.
Then be far that be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous shall be also the wicked, that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right?
Now he's not being out of the spirit. He's questioning, because remember the Lord made a promise, that rainbow, that he wouldn't destroy all flesh on the earth again because of the wicked that are on earth.
Right.
You know what I mean? So Abraham is kind of condensed it down to the city.
Right.
You know what I mean? Are you going to destroy the righteous and the wicked again? The Lord, you said you wouldn't do that. So if there's 50 righteous brothers in the city, would you spare the city because of the 50 righteous brothers? Keep going.
26. And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sake.
Because this is the Lord's promise. He wouldn't destroy all flesh, because even if it's the majority, it's way more than 50 brothers in Sodom. You know what I mean? Sodom was a big, major, imagine like New York, Chicago, LA, Atlanta. No, imagine Atlanta. I think that's a good, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta or San Francisco. You know what I'm saying? And if the Lord came to visit Atlanta or visit San Francisco and found 50 righteous brothers, he said he wouldn't destroy it. You know what I mean? That's the promise that the Lord made. Keep going.
27. And Abram answered and said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes.
He said, Behold, he said, Salakia, sir, I know I'm speaking unto the power, and I'm just dust. You're the power. You're glory. You're power. You're the Lord. You know what I mean? He's talking to this is a message of the Lord. He said, I know I'm speaking to the Lord when I speak to you, and Salakia, sir, because I'm just dust and ashes. I ain't nothing. You know what I mean? From the dust I came, from the dust I will return to.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he's Salakia. So I know I'm out of place. Please, Salakia, forgive me. Keep going.
28. Mm-hmm. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for the lack of 5? And he said, If I find there 45, I will not destroy it.
He said, man, so instead of it said 5 were lacking out of that 50. You know, if you only found 45, he said, if I find 45 people, I'm not destroying. Abraham is attempting to negotiate for the sake of Sodom and Gomorrah. And one of the reasons that you'll find that he did that is because his nephew Lot lives in Sodom. Remember, when Abram and Lot's herdsmen got to beefing with each other and conflict arose because their substance had grown so abundantly between them that they could not possibly contain everything they had within the land. Abram told Lot, you look your way, I'll look. If you go south, I'll go north. If you go east, I'll go west. And Lot looked over and saw the shore where Sodom and Gomorrah was at along the River Jordan and realized with all that green land and all that water, it'd be the perfect place for somebody who had a flock to multiply and be greater. And so he went to Sodom. And now Abraham is negotiating. As anybody knows the story, he negotiated it down to try to help his family that was inside of that wicked city. You know what I mean? And we're going to do these last 7, and then we're going to wrap it up. So it's the book of Genesis chapter 18 and verse 29 in the Hebrew. Wayatak, Idar, Lodabar, Al-Yawa, Wayamar, Awalia, Yamatazawan, Shum, Arabayam, Arabayam, Wayamar, La'ah, Aisha, Bawar, Harabayam, Harabayam, verse 30. Wayamar, Al, Na'ah, Yakar, Ladanya, Wanabar, Dabara, Awalia, Yamatazawan, Wamatazawan, Sham, Shalashim, Yawamar, La'ah, Aisha, Hamatazah, Sham, Shalashim, verse 31. Wayamar, Anah, Na'ah, Awalathia, Ladabar, Al, Adanya, Awala, Awalia, Wamatazawan, Wamatazawan, Shah, Aishariam, Wayamar, La'ah, Ashakayath, Bawar, Haishariam, verse 32. Wayamar, Wayamar, Al, Na'ah, Yakar, Ladanya, Ladanya, with the borrower, with the borrower, Ak, Hapa'aim, Awalia, Yamatazawan, Shum, Ishara, Yamar, La'a, Ashakathia, Baibar, Ba'i Bawar, Haishara, verse 33, Yalak, Yahweh, Kashar, Kala, Ladabar, Al, Abarium, Wabara, Wabarium, Wabarayum, Wabarham, Shah, Lamaquap, Lamaquamu, Wa. It's the book of Genesis, chapter, where we at now? 19? Chapter 19 and verse 1 in the Hebrew. Bawa, Shania, Hamalaka, Sakya, Hama La'akyam, Sadama, Bairab, Walawat, Yashab, Bashair, Saddam, Yara, Lawat, Yaquam, Lakra, Rathum, Yashat Kawa, Apayam, Arataza, verse 2, Yamar, Hana, Na'a, Adanya, Rawa, Na'a, Al, Bayath, Ibadkam, Walayan, Sakya, Wala Yana, Wala Yanwa, Wakartazawa, Ra'a La Yakam, Wahirshak Matham, Waha Lakant, Sakya, Wahalak Thum, Ladabar Kakam, Wayamarwa, La'a, Kaya, Dabakar, Sakya, Wab, Nalayum. Salakia. All right, let's finish this on out.
Genesis chapter 18 and verse 29. Mm-hmm. And he spoke unto him yet again, and said, Peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40 seconds.
Keep going.
30. And he said unto him, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak. Peradventure there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there.
So he kind of pushing it. You know what I mean? He says, oh, look, don't be angry, Lord. But if it's 30, 50, 45, 40, 30, he negotiating. Keep going.
31. Mm-hmm. And he said, Behold now, I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord. Peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. Mm-hmm. And he said, Oh, let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once.
He said, Lord, don't be angry. He said, and one more time. He said, I'm going to speak just this once. He said, no, don't be angry, sir. Salakia, it's one more thing. This is the last time. This is the last one. Keep going.
Peradventure 10 shall be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake.
So Abraham went from 50 to 45 to 30 to 20. And he said, all right, one more, Lord, one more time. I'm sorry, Salakia, sir. Don't be mad. Don't be mad. And the Lord knows what Abraham's trying to do. He's showing extreme patience with him, and he's also trying to show mercy to the denizens of Sodom and Gomorrah. So Abraham said, if you find 10 righteous men in the city, the Lord said, all right, if I find 10 righteous men, I would not destroy this place for the sake of those 10 men. Keep going.
33. And the Lord went his way as soon as he had left communing with Abraham. And Abraham returned unto his place.
So since that, Abraham said, look, one last time, the Lord gave him that last time. He agreed not to destroy the place because of the sake of 10. And when their conversation was over, the Lord left, and Abraham went back home. All right, let's get to the next chapter.
19 and 1. And there came 2 angels to Sodom at evening. And Lot sat in the gate of Sodom. And Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself with his face towards the ground.
Look, Lot came up. The 2 angels came in the gate of Sodom. And Lot saw them. And he jumped up. And he ran over just like Abe. Because he knew. Look, you know angels when you see them. If you see an angel walk in the room, you're going to know it's an angel. And something in your spirit immediately is going to, you're going to freeze, you're going to move, you're going to jump up, you're going to bow down your face to the ground. You know what I mean? Because we know our power.
That's right.
Just because you don't, they done made it so you can't recognize your power today. I tell you one way, you know, when the Isupk walk into the room, everybody can't figure out who the heck we are and why we look so big and why we look so mean or scary, and we can be smiling, laughing, and joking. That's the power of the Lord that's on us. The Spirit of the Lord is upon us. When somebody walks near you or into a room with the Spirit of the Lord on them, you gonna know.
That's right.
Keep going, sir.
Verse 2. And he said, behold now, my lords, turn in, I pray you, unto your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go your ways. And they said, nay, but we will abide in the streets all night.
So he saw them, he jumped up and he said, oh, my lords, look, why don't you come to my crib, let me wash your feet. You know what I mean? Let me show you some hospitality. Let me be a good host. You know what I'm saying? If you can stay at my crib all night, don't go back out in the street. Because he knows the place, the danger of the place where he lives. He knows the evil of the city he lives in. So he see the angels. He's trying to, oh, y'all come in and come into the crib and y'all can chill all night. Then in the morning, you know what I'm saying, y'all can go where it is you're going. They said, oh, no. No, we're going to stay in the streets all night. We're going to see what we came to. Basically, they let them know we came to investigate this city and see what's cracking in Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I mean? All right, and with that, we're going to see the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah next week. And everybody that's watching, hit that like button, that share button. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you're watching for, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and hit that share button. Let's get this truth out there.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Muslim? Yeah.
La Yasharala.
A Muslim needs to stand, put up the dub, be to the face of the east, we do the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew. Abanaw. Shabbat Shemayim.
Quadash. Hayah. Shimka. Yahweh. Malawaka. Taba'ah. Ratazah. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'aratazah. Kawah. Hayah. Bashamayim. Lathananaw. Lakab. Cow. Yawam. Wasalakanaw. Kawatanaw. Kabawadanaw. Wala'ah. Malahai. Double Yai now. Bonasai one. A ball. Hawashai now. Mayan. Rye. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapara. Wawalumya. Aman in the English. Our Father. Which art in heaven. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be.
I call the power of the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahawashi. Baba Kasha. Latananau. Hakak. Larapa'ah.
Call
Makala. Makal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Amatazariah. Hakak. Lahakim. Hamathia. Hakak. Al-Karwa. Batama'ala. Garushan. Ba'ashem Yahawashi. The water Ahmad, in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh, please give us the power. The power to heal. All manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the leper. The power to raise the dead. The power against the unclean spirit. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Playing the best instrument, the Hebrew, Yahweh.
Ba'ashem. Yahawashi. Baraklanau. Wayasharala. Wahabaya. Sapari. Ba'ashem Yahawashi. The water Ahmad, in the English, Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh. Bless us. And Israel. And the school. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you, so be it.
Psalms 121 in the Hebrew.
Asha'ah. Ayanya. Al-Hahari. Ma'ayan. Yaba'ah. Isari. Ma'ayin. Yahweh. Aisha. Shamayam. Wa'aratazah. Ayathan. Lamawat. Regalka. Al-Yanawah. Shamarka. Hanala'at. Yanawah. Wala'at. Yayashun. Shawamar. Yasharala. Yahweh, Shamarka, Yahweh, Tazalka, Al-Yad, Yamyaka, Yawamam, Hashamat, La'at, Yakayaka, Wayarak, Belayallah, Yahweh, Yashamarka, Akalrat, Yashamar, Afnapashka, Yahweh, Yashamar, Taza'aka, Wawa'aka, Ma'atha, Wa'ai, Awallah. In the English, I will lift up mine eyes into the hills. From which cometh my help? My help cometh from Yahweh. Which made heaven and earth. He will not suffer thy foot to be moved. He that keepeth thee will not slumber. Behold, he that keepeth Yasharala shall neither slumber nor sleep. Yahweh is thy keeper. Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand. The sun shall not smite thee by day. Nor the moon by night. Yahweh shall preserve thee from all evil. He shall preserve thy soul. Yahweh shall preserve thy going out. And thy coming in. From this time forward. And even forevermore.
Psalms 83 in the Hebrew. Al-Hayyam.
Al-Damayah. Laka. Al-Thakarat. Al-Dashakwat. All. Kayahana. Awabika. Yahama. Yawan. Ra'ash. Al-Amaka. Yarayamwa. Sawada. Wayatha. Ya'ai Tazawah. Al-Tazapawanyaka. Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Wanakakidam, Magalia, Wala'ai, Yazakar, Shum Yasharala, Awada, Kaya, Nawai Tazawah, Labat, Yakadwa, Ayaka, Bariyat, Yakaratwa, Aholia, Adawan, Wayashamai, Alayam, Mawa'aba, Wahagari, Gabal, Wa'amalak, Palashah, Am Yeshabia, Tazawar, Gum Ashawar, Nalawat, Imam, Hayawat, Zerawai, Labanya, Lawat, Salah, Aisha, Laham, Kamadia, Kasaya, Sarah, Kayabi, Banakal, Koyashawan, Nashamadu, Bayan, Daira, Ayawa, Daman, La'adama, Sayatama, Nadab, Yadnawa, Kara, Wakasabak, Wakatazalmanai, Call Nasiakama, Ashar, Amarwa, Nairasha, Nalawat, Na'awat, Alahaya, Sayatama, Kagalgala, Kakwash, Lapanya, Rabaka, Ka'ach, Labaira, Yaira, Wakalahaba, Dalahat, Ariyam, Khan, Tharadatma, Basairika, Wabasa, Wapatka, Dabahalam, Malahai, Panyaham, Kualawan, Wayat, Bakwashwa, Shemka, Yahawah, Yabashwa, Wayat, Behold, Adiai, Wayat, Kaparwa, Wayat, Abadwa, Wayat, Daira, Kaya, Atha, Shemka, Yahawah, Labaka, Ayawa, Ka, Haratazah. In English, keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Keep not thy silence, O Yahweh.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O Yahweh.
O Yahweh.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
And they that hate thee.
And they that hate thee.
Have lifted up the head.
Have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel.
Against thy people.
Against thy people.
And consulted.
And consulted.
Against thy hidden ones.
Against thy hidden ones.
They have said.
They have said.
Come.
And
let us cut them off.
And let us cut them off.
From being a nation. That the name of Yasharallah.
That the name of Yasharallah.
May be no more remembered.
May be no more remembered.
Salakia. For they have consulted together. With one consent. They are confederate against thee. The tabernacles of Edom. And the Ishmaelites. Of Moab. And the Hagarim. Gabal. And Ammon. And Amalek. The Philistines. With the inhabitants of Tyre. Assur is also joined with them. Salakia. They have hope in the children of Lot. Salah. Do unto them. As unto the Midianites. As to Sisera. As to Jabin. At the brook of Kison. Which perished at Endor. They became as dung for the earth. Make their nobles like Oreb. And like Zeir. Yea. All their princes as Zabah. And as Zamunah. Who said, let us take to ourselves the houses of Yahweh in possession. Oh my power. Make them like a wheel. As the summer before the wind. As the fire burneth the wood. As the flame setteth the mountains on fire. So persecute them. With thy temper. And make them afraid. With thy storm. Fill their faces with shame. That they may seek thy name. Oh Yahweh. Let them be confounded. And troubled forever. Yea. Let them be put to shame. And perish. That men may know. That thou, whose name alone is Yahweh, art the most high over all the earth.
Sorry, Mr. Turn. Sister Shabi, you see it? Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak,
Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatham.
As Matah, sorry, we celebrate the sisters, Imajim means to stand. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushua.
As Matah, 7 dismissed.